When it comes to alchemy in Wrath of the Lich King, it's actually a really good profession and you get similar personal bonuses to everything else, but you can do so much more. There's a lot more to it than just getting 47 spell power or 82 attack power or 60 stamina, which, by the way, personal effect wise, that's what you're getting. You also get amazing items like Flask of the North, so you don't only get the personal benefit when you're under the effect of a flask, because you can pop this in 5-man heroics, you can pop it when you're out farming. You create this item once and it's got unlimited uses. You can also transmute Saronite into titanium bars, and titanium bars are going to be needed for Titan Steel. And Titan Steel, for anyone who uses plate, big weapons, small weapons, just weapons, is going to want Titan Steel bars. Later on in the game, you can even transmute epic gems. Now, the transmute for the epic gems shares the daily cooldown the same way all of your eternal transmutes do. So if you want to turn one eternal into another eternal, it's a 24-hour cooldown, and it's probably the cooldown you're going to use up until the point where you do be able to transmute epic gems. So alchemy, who should use it? What class? Ultimately, anyone can use it. You're going to get a similar bonus to everything else. As I said at the start, you're going to get 80 extra attack power if you use a Flask of the Frostworm. You're going to get an extra 47 spell power, and if you use the tanking flasks, you're going to get an extra 60 stamina's worth of health. Instead of sitting at a bar, let me jump over to the computer and we'll talk through all of this. Before we get any further, just want to say a quick thank you to all you guys who have either joined as Patreons, because there are patrons now, so thank you guys, and to everybody in the scrolling banner below who has joined the channel as a member. More on how you can support the channel at the end of the video. Now, I just want to put a tiny disclaimer in that even looking at historic posts from 2009, people are saying that you get 80 attack power from the mixology bonus. I'm getting 82 when I'm testing it on the particular Wrath client I've got. That could be wrong. It's only 2 attack power, so I don't want to get too fixated on it, but we're going to round down and say you get 80 attack power. But as I say, for me, for some reason, I'm getting 82. Just thought I'd put that out there. So with that out of the way, firstly, let's start with the Alchemy Specializations. Do they still matter? Because a lot of the other specializations from things like leatherworking doesn't really matter anymore. Neither does blacksmith. You may be pleased or displeased to know that it does matter for alchemy. And you do still need to do the quest. So you've got Potion Master, Elixir Master, and Transmute Master. So covering all 3 really quickly, Master of Elixirs still starts with Lorrakeem in Shatrath. He's located here in Shat. He'll give you a quest where you need to craft 5 Elixir of Major Defense, 5 Elixir of Mastery, and 5 Elixir of Major Agility. But you'll also need 10 Essence of Infinity, and these come from the Rift Keepers and Rift Lords in Black Morass. You still will need to go back and do Black Morass, even if you create your Alchemist in Wrath. But for Master of Potions, you'll need to find Lorana in Zangarmarsh at Cenarian Refuge, and for this, you'll need 5 Dreamless Sleep Potions, 5 Super Mana Potions, and 5 Super Healing Potions. Then you'll need to head over to the Botanica in Tempest Keep, kill High Botanist Freywin, loot the boss, go back and hand in the quest, and congratulations, you're now a Potion Master. And Transmutation Master, again, is exactly the same. It's from Zarevi at Stormspire in Neverstorm. He'll give you a quest. You'll need to hand in 4 Primal Might, hand it back in, and congratulations, you're a Transmutation Master. Now, it's worth bearing in mind some of these recipes that you've got to make for your Potion, Elixir, or Transmute Master, even like Transmute Primal Might, obviously comes from a recipe that is from a vendor. So you'll need to go look those up. I'm not going in super detail when it comes to this because I'm sure there's thousands of guides because it's exactly the same as it was in TBC. Now, one thing that's worth noting, Transmute Titanium Bar will likely have a cooldown. In 3.3, the cooldown was removed, and it's quite sad, really, that you can only make 1 titanium bar a day. Seems like a very strange thing to have on such a long cooldown, if I'm completely honest. But who knows? Could change. What do these masteries do? They allow you to proc 1 to 4 additional items. If you're a Potion Master, you can proc 1 to 4 additional potions. Same if you're an Elixir Master, same if you're a Transmute Master. And interestingly, flasks change slightly in Wrath of the Lich King. So flasks now only last 1 hour, but when you craft a flask, you get 2. And this is where your bonus as an alchemist comes in, because you get mixology, and mixology doubles the duration of flasks on you. So actually, even though it should only last an hour, it will last 2 hours, and you'll get that bonus of 80 attack power, 47 spell power, or 60 stamina. 60 stamina's worth of health. You also get a few trinkets that you can craft, like the Indestructible Alchemist Stone with 75 stamina and lots of dodge, and it also increases the effect of healing and mana potions on you, which is very nice. It's not too bad of a trinket, not something you're going to be too bothered about. None of these trinkets are that amazing, but let's say as a healer, getting that 50 haste, the 59 spell power, and 40% additional mana from your potions can actually be really, really nice, more or less throughout the entire game. Because there's a few healers that want a lot of haste, like a Resto Druid, like a Disc Priest to a certain extent. They don't need a lot of haste, but they still need to reach their haste cap. So the Trinket's not too bad. It's not the Trinket that I would really be going Alchemy for. It's probably going Transmute Master on about 20 different characters, because when the epic gems release in phase 3, you're going to be able to transmute 1 epic gem every day, and you can even get a quest which once you've transmuted 5 epic gems, you'll then be able to transmute the red epic gems, which, as we know, for things like strength, agility, attack power, they normally are the most expensive. And being able to transmute 1 blue gem that's probably worth about 10 gold into a gem that's worth about 200 gold once per day, if you've got about 8 to 10 alchemists just pumping these out, you're going to be a rich little boy. Or girl. Or dog. I don't know, whatever. Cat. Whatever you are that plays WoW. I didn't mention the Mighty Alchemist Stone, the attack power version, just because it's not that great. 100 attack power, 50 crit, and the effect of healing and mana potions on you by 40%. As an attack power DPS, you're not really bothered about the effect from health and mana potions. And quite honestly, there's so many more options for attack power based DPS, it's not even worth considering. That's not to say the profession itself's not worth considering, because as I say, the actual personal gain you get is not dissimilar from every other profession. When you get to skill 400, you'll be able to use some Adder's Tongue, Gold Clover, Talandra's Rose to complete your Northrend Alchemy Research. This is how you discover new potions. And as you can see here, whilst it's not a massive list, you can get crazy alchemist potions, you can get potions of speed, you can get potions of wild magic, powerful rejuve potions, and then of course there's loads of elixirs. Out of this entire list, Potion of Speed, definitely the one that you're going to be hoping for. What this potion does is increases your haste rating by 500 for 15 seconds, and every DPS is going to pre-pot one of these before a fight and then use it again during the fight. These require materials from fishing and, of course, herbalism, so they're going to be incredibly expensive pretty much the entire way through the expansion. If you get this as your first one, you're going to be laughing, because you are going to be able to make a lot of gold, especially if you're Potion Master. So you're crafting and you're getting lots of procs as well. So the cooldown on the Northrend Alchemy Research used to be 7 days, but it was reduced to 3 days very shortly after Wrath launched. So you can expect to see it in a 3-day cooldown state. And it's worth noting, when you actually use your research as well, it randomly creates 2 to 3 elixirs or 2 to 4 flasks, and it discovers an alchemy recipe. So you do actually get, hopefully, some flasks from it at the same time as learning new skills. Now, flasks in general are more accessible, and they're more accessible because of like Frost Lotus, very much like TBC, where gone are the days of vanilla where it's just so difficult to get flasks because you can't get the materials. The materials now are plentiful. You can get herbs in dungeons, of course. You can get herbs farming in Wintergrass, wherever, anywhere you want to go, even though there are popular places like Shoulders are, of course. But you need Frost Lotus. That's what you need to actually be able to make a flask, as well as some other herbs, of course. And like I say, the main bonuses for you as an alchemist that you need to consider when you're actually going to go alchemy on your main character, possibly, is the bonuses, which, as I say, 80 attack power, 47 spell power, 60 stamina-ish, as well as double duration on flask, as well as using Flask of the North so you can get your bonus without actually having to use a flask. And the reason for that is, let's face it, if you're blacksmithing and you've got 2 extra sockets, or you're jewel crafting and you've got your big gems, you're going to have them all the time, no matter what you're doing. So having Flask of the North is just that way of making you be able to have the additional stats all the time, but just at the inconvenience of having to click one button every hour. And I would say that's about it. That's all about the specialization, the benefits that you're going to get, things that you can do to make gold, which, as I say, having like a miner and an alchemist pumping out Titan Steel bars on cooldown every day, and then later on in the expansion being able to transmute the epic gems every day on multiple characters, going to be a great way of making gold. Early on, just doing the transmute titanium every day, or possibly a very, very cheap to buy Eternal for a very expensive Eternal. Definitely a profession that's really, really good for your alts. For a main character, I personally quite like it on healers. I genuinely do, particularly like Resto Druids and Disc Priests, as I said before, because the spell power and the haste is actually really nice. You're not going to get them big proc trinkets or anything like that, but you are going to get 40% extra mana back from your mana potion. So I rate Alchemy quite high. I'd say specifically on a Resto Druid, I rate it quite high. But thank you to all you guys that have joined the channel as a member or Patreon as well. Links to those are in the description below. Roll the outro and like and subscribe. See you on the next one. There's lots of ways you can support the channel to keep me here putting out World of Warcraft content and covering all future MMOs. Consider joining the channel as a member. You get access to emotes. Everyone will know you're a member when you comment on future videos because you get a nice icon next to your name. And you get access to members-only videos, which I'll be putting a lot of on the channel throughout the year. Additionally, there's a Patreon link in the description as well. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you on the next one.